Hi folks, this is all the fruit, and today I'll be trying some blackthorn flowers, and those are flowers from some strange, well, most probably feral plum/plum blackthorn hybrid. I'm in the beautiful city of Heidelberg in the first days of April, and since there are not so many fruit around right now, I'm gonna eat the flowers. Basically, the flowers of all our rosaceous fruit trees are edible, and yeah, kind of tasty. And the blackthorn, although technically rather a shrub than a tree, is quite an important ancestor of our plum varieties, especially in the West, it seems. Well, here there is some blackthorn. You can see the mummified remains of last year's fruit here. Let me try and focus. And lots of flowers, of course. Be careful when you pick anything from a blackthorn. It's not called blackthorn for nothing. The thorns might be hidden behind flowers now, but they're quite impressive. So I'm a little bit late to the game. As you can see, a lot of the blackthorn shrubs are already finishing their flowering. We had quite a warm period towards the end of March, like summer temperatures warm. However, next week is gonna be ice cold again. Okay, so some blackthorn flowers. Aromatic. The slight bitterness I find in pretty much all those rosaceous flowers. Also a flavor, yeah, similar to the smell, a little bit similar to hawthorn flavor, but not that strong. Yeah. The bitterness is not so much bitter almond or cyanic acid like, but it's more like a more generic bitterness. Not as exciting as many other rosaceous flowers. The flavor is interesting, but the bitterness is boring, if that makes sense to you. Well, here those blackthorns, they are growing interspersed with some taller things. Those taller, well, shrubs/trees, they also have thorns, but those thorns are not as thorny as the blackthorn thorns, at least not all of them. Some of them actually are quite thorny, but seems to be a bit less thorny. Also, the plants are taller, more upright, and all the organs on them are a little bit bigger. I don't remember the fruit. Well, this doesn't seem to be a cherry plum. It doesn't look like a cherry plum at all. It looks like some Prunus domestica, like some feral one. However, it could also be some Prunus domestica, some plum blackthorn hybrid. Let's look at them here. Well, flowers are a bit bigger than blackthorn flowers. Oh, let me find some nice ones which are in the sun. A little bit tough because this stuff is taller. So here we are, a little bit bigger than blackthorn flowers, a lot less thorns. Okay, I took a lot of short twigs with the flowers. I'll try to eat just the flowers. Less bitter. Strange, almost no trace of this bitter almond taste or any other bitterness. But yeah, totally edible too. More mild than the blackthorn flowers. Maybe I'll visit this hedge again in summer to see what the fruit are like. If they're like giant blackthorns or rather like some like some plum variety. Definitely feral plum, but I cannot say if it hasn't hybridized back with the blackthorn, which hybridizes readily with plums because it's one of their parent species. I would also say maybe a teeny tiny trace of honey in the taste of those flowers. Yeah, let them compare once more with the blackthorn flowers. Yeah, blackthorn definitely a tiny bit more bitter and tiny bit less sour. Maybe a tiny bit more dry. Quite similar, and both not as spectacular taste-wise as some other rosaceae flowers. So yeah, quite interesting. Yeah, of course, sometimes it's a bad idea to eat the flowers when you want the fruit. But as you can see, there are enough flowering rosaceae, cherries, plums, blackthorn, hawthorn around here, so that we can eat a couple flowers and still have a lot of fruit left later. So folks, those were the flowers of some blackthorn and some feral plum, probably / blackthorn hybrid. Stay tuned for a lot more fruit videos from the beautiful city of Heidelberg. And don't forget, oh God, I got something. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe.